started in Vaisali, just after 100 years of the Mahaparinirvana of the Buddha. Again, the teachings of the Buddha were rehearsed and recited. Again, in the third Buddhist council, at the time of the King Ashoka, held at Patliputra, all the teachings of the Buddha were rehearsed and recited. This was the council in which all the teachings of the Buddha were first of all classified. And we are having the classification in so many ways. But one classification which became much popular among the scholars, that is known as Pitakvasena Tividam. That is the Vinay Pitak, Supitak and Abhidhamma Pitak. And these classifications of the teachings of the Buddha were done in the Third Buddhist Council. And we know the history that from Third Buddhist Council, the 9 missionaries sent by the King Ashoka, sent to the different countries. And we know that how Mahendra and Sanghmitra were asked to go to Sri Lanka to spread the Buddhism in Sri Lanka. I will come to that how these linguistic peculiarities were also developed. We know that Mahendra and Sanghmitra from the Patliputra, they were coming first of all as Ujjaini, Sanchi, Vidisa, Upavidisa, and from there they were coming to the Avanti, and from Avanti they are coming to the Gujarat, Lat, and from Lat they are coming to the Maharashtra, and from Maharashtra to Andhra Pradesh coastal area, and from Andhra they migrated to the Tamparani, that is the Sri Lanka present day. So see how this linguistic peculiarity of the language from the Patliputra went to the Sri Lanka, how the language were mixtures among the Magadhi. I will come to discuss that how this Magadhi. In the commentaries also, we are having the reference that the language which was spoken by the Buddha is known as Magadhi. There are 3 names of the Pali: Magadhi, Magadhi Bhasa, Magadhi Nirutti. In Abhidhan Paviditika, we are having the Sa Magadhi Mool Bhasa, Naraya Di Kapika, Brahmanocha Sutalapa Sambuddha Chopi Bhasare. That Magadhi is the original language in which from the beginning of the creation of the mankind and the new small baby who have just taken birth, they also speak in this Magadhi, and Sambuddha Chapi Bhasare, and the Blessed One, the Buddha, also speak in this language. So Magadhi, this was the language. Again in the Chulbadhu we are having the reference that how the 2 Brahmin converts, Yamel and Tamil, they approached to the Buddha and they asked that people coming from the different traditions and from the different places, they are not speaking very well Magadhi language, so that we should translate this teachings of the Buddha in Chandasa. Buddha became angry and he asked that whosoever translate it into Chandas, that will be offensive. Yo Chandaso Aropeya Apati Dukatasa Anujarami Vikhtove Sakari Rutiya Bhusvachalam Padya Puditum. That, oh monks, I allow you to recite or to preserve the teachings of the Buddha in Sakai Nirudya, in its own language. There are so many interpretations of the Sakai Nirudya. T.W. Rhys Davids and other scholars like Max Muller and others, they are saying that Sakai Nirudya is in its own language. But Acharya Buddha Ghosh has commented in the commentary that Etapana Sakai Nirudya ki Bhagava Buddho Magadhi ko Boharo, that here Sakai Nirudya is in the sense of Magadhi, that is the Magadhi language. So that was the Magadhi, you can say, the language which is spoken. And how this Magadhi transmitted to Sri Lanka, where we are having that this Mahendra Sangmitra, Mahendra, coming with the five, you can say, associates. First of all, they are coming to the Ujjaini, that is the Sachi Upavidisa, and some of the monks or some of the persons are also joining the group. And from Upavidisa, they are coming to the Avanti, and Avanti, some of the groups are also joining together. The language which was spoken at the Avanti and the Ujjaini, some of the peoples are also mixing the language in those, you can say, traditions. And we know that there was oral traditions, Mukh Path Vasena, not through the, you can say, any recorded or history we are having. There was no any history of the writing Tipitaka before that. And from there they are coming to the Gujarat, Lat, and from Lat they are coming to the Andhra Pradesh, and from Andhra coastal area they are migrating to the Tammaparni or Sri Lanka. So the language, the Ardha Magadhi, Paisachi, Maharashtri, the elements are joining to the language through the Mukh Path Vasena. And we have the traditions that at the time of the king Bhattagamni Abhay in the 1st century BC, first of all, the Tripitaka was written down. And only the Tripitaka was, you can say, written down. Not we are having the other, you can say, commentary. Here, scholars have raised the questions that when commentaries were also taken together by Mahendra and with the group, why not commentaries were also written down at that time? And they put the questions that commentaries might have not been written at that time, or they were not taken together by Mahendra and other groups. They were taken later on. There is a question given by the scholars. So from there, we are having this, the Tripitaka writing. And later on, we are having that how Acharya Buddha Ghosh went to the, there is a history that how Acharya Buddha Ghosh from Buddha Gaya, he went to the Sri Lanka. I am not going to detail in that history. That for study of the commentary, he was asked by his teacher to go to Sri Lanka. And he goes to the Sri Lanka, and then he translated all the commentaries available in English language into Magadhi. And from Magadhi, he brought all the commentary. And what were the sources? I will come to the later on that how the sources were challenged by other scholars. Professor D.J. Kalpana and other scholars, they are putting the questions that what happened to the original manuscripts, from where these commentaries were written down from Sinhalese to Magadhi. Then it was said that they were burnt down. The monastery Anuradhapur Mahavihar was burnt down, and we do not have any recording. Professor Asante Lakratane has raised questions there that might be any conspiracy of the Indian monks as well as the Sri Lankan monks to hide this mystery that what was the original source. Because in Sri Lanka we are having only in Alu Bihar there is a monastery which has the manuscript only 300 years old, not before that. So what was the source of writing the commentary and the Tripitaka? There is a question that when it was written, Sri Lanka being a propounder of the Theravada Buddhism, they also claim that we are the real propounder of the Theravada Buddhism, and they become silent. They do not speak anything that the teachings of the Buddha which are available in India, they have been taken together by Acharya Buddha Ghosh in the 5th century AD. They are the cultural heritage of Sri Lanka. So they do not speak anything about that from where these manuscripts came to Sri Lanka. So there is another question, sir. Now, this is the, you can say, Tripitaka, the most popular. I come to that there were 9 classifications, under which ek vidhena Budvachanam, do vidhena Budvachanam. So there are 9 classifications under which the teachings of the Buddha were classified. So here Pitaka, Tipitaka became very much popular. Tipitaka, as we know that here there are two words, Ti and Pitaka. Ti is in the sense of tree, and Pitaka is literally means basket, or you can say box. But here, Acharya Buddha goes to Pitaka defines that Pitkam Pitkat Vidu Paryati Bhajanato Ahu Ten Samudhanitva Vinay Adeyo Piyanya. That the knower of the meaning of the Pitaka says that it is Pitaka in the sense of the Paryati and the Bhajan. That is the teachings of the Buddha and the container in which the teachings of the Buddha have been kept down. So this is the teachings of the Buddha. So these teachings of the Buddha which are available in the Pitaka, they are called as, so there are 3, Vinaya Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka and Abhidhamma Pitaka. In a very brief manner, I will tell you that what is the Vinaya, Sutta and Abhidhamma for the sake of the research scholars. Vinaya Pitaka is the collection of the teachings of the Buddha, in which the monastic rules and regulations for the monks and nuns have been compiled. In Sutta Pitaka, the popular discourse of the Buddha were given with the latent factors. The people, after understanding the latent factors of the person concerned, with the help of the similes, examples, stories, illustrations, etc. And Abhidhamma Pitaka is the collections of the teachings which are excellent, preponderant, metaphysical in sense. We are not going to discuss in a very detailed manner all the teachings. That this Pitaka became very much popular. Now the classification of the Tripitaka are available in our so many ways, but this is Vinaya, Sutta and Abhidhamma. And later on the commentaries, they were also reported. Now if you study the material or the language and style of the writing in the Vinaya Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka and Abhidhamma Pitaka, and the style of writing of the commentary, they are quite different. And the style of writing of the commentator like Buddhadeva, Bose, Buddhadatta and Dhammapal, they are in a different manner. So the language which are